8 people?
8 peoples in the house.
Hello, people. Welcome.
Welcome on in, peoples.
Where do we begin? I guess we could technically start. We're supposed to have 10 people, but I guess we could.
Well, I think we can give it a bit longer. It's only been 2 minutes. I'm not sure if the event's been set off yet.
Well, no, Ellis, we gotta get it done right now.
Right this second. Now we're 9.
Not 8.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It got to 7. No. It got to 10, but like then it went down a couple people. So like technically, it has been to 10.
That's how my technically speaking. The day definitely won't last forever. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, we forgot to do our rap.
Oh.
Yeah, let's keep forgetting.
Let's do it. All right, who wants to be the beat?
I think we're supposed to be enticing people to stay.
You're right. Because I'm like, ironically, I cannot rap.
I can do the.
Oh gosh, the furious typing again.
Sorry,
all right. That's Ellis can be like, that's the beat, okay? Your typewriting is gonna be the beat. You just gotta create a beat out of that sound.
Like I'll be in other Discords and I'll start typing. My friends will be like, Ellis, you gotta mute your mic. You typing, give me your mic on.
And furiously, no less. Oh my gosh! And someone decides to message me right this second. No.
Oof.
Honestly,
10, 11.
This is impressive for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see who we got.
I have so many messages and they need to stop.
You're so popular.
I don't really want it half the time. They don't stop.
I had a person message me in this with a gap of a month between his messages saying, "Hey, are you the voice actor?"
Are you the voice actor?
And every time I just said, "Who is this?" But anyway, let's get started then.
I'm sorry, like the voice actor. You're just the voice actor.
I put like one of those stock images of like a kid with his arms folded and sunglasses, saying like, "Yes, I am the voice actor." But let's begin. So, I think we'll introduce ourselves, going in alphabetical order. If I get it right.
Let's go.
So yes, this is a wonderful event covering VO etiquette, how to make yourself look wonderful in front of your clients. I am Ellis Knight. Some of you folks may remember me from the event I did recently regarding creature work. I'm a voice actor from the UK of 2 years experience. You can catch me in games like The Backrooms Lost Tape, which is coming out early next month. You can also catch me in EXP War Trauma and Burnhouse Lane, which is a game that is coming out tomorrow.
Hey,
nice.
Hi, my name is Meggie, and let's see. I'm a voice actor, apparently, and I've done. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but I've done Nami.WAV in Scratchin Melodii. I've done let's see who else. I play Princess Elise in Sonic Villains fan film. I am also a little bit sick right now, so this is not how I usually sound. Just a heads up on that. Goodness. I mean, there was a game that came out a couple of days ago called Mishigi Love and War, so you guys should check that one out.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we're all in that actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think we are all in that.
Yeah, we are all in that.
That's awesome.
That's actually funny.
Oh wait. Yeah, who do you guys play?
I played like demonic Rakakura.
Nice.
I am the voice of the beautiful mage D.
I played some extras and the queen.
queen.
The queen that no one likes.
Oh, it's okay. We love you.
Oh, thanks. I love you guys too.
I
Yeah.
guess me now.
Next.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Shakyra Dunn. I've been voice acting for 4 years now, as of October. Good grief. Anyway, what am I in? What am I in? I'm in so
I
many
feel that.
things. So, I guess I can agree with Mishigi Love and War, which came out literally, like 4 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the voice of D in that. I am also in Broken Beat Forthbringers as the voice of Atasha. What else am I in? I'm also in EXP War Trauma, but I just did the trailer voice.
Yes, you are. Yes, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, games come, and I still am a little bit shook by that. Didn't expect to do that this year.
No, neither did I.
Ooh, what else? What
What about Protectors of name I forget?
Defenders of Alodia.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Defenders of Alodia. I am the voice of Rebecca Winstead.
Hey.
Ooh. Again, I'm in so many things that I have to really think about it. Oh,
Lucky
I'm
you.
in Ace of Hearts as Fox, who is not out yet, but he will be around in episode 4, I hear. My baby boy.
But I believe that is all of us introduced. So shall I go ahead and say to lovely people what this event will be covering and see if we have any questions off the bat?
Yes, let's
Sure.
go.
Swag. Cool. So this event is all about VO etiquette. So this is all about how to present yourself well as a voice actor across multiple areas of the industry. So us three will be discussing all the umbrella topics under this event. For example, we'll be looking at cold emailing. For example, when you email casting directors or developers, or maybe message them on Twitter or on Discord, we'll look how to do that well and present yourself properly. We'll also talk about how to be formal but not too formal, and casual but not too casual. We'll also be talking about how to maintain a healthy relationship with your clients throughout working with them and the benefits that can bring. So before we get started and we all, start rambling, does anyone in the audience have a question that they want to get off their chest straight off the bat?
Gosh, Ellis feels like the Aki to our Chainsaw Man trio.
I know.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, so there's a main character in Chainsaw Man named Aki, and he essentially keeps the main characters of Power and Denji in line. Literally just like by the leashes.
I watched one clip of Chainsaw Man, and it was literally just someone being sick in Denji's mouth. And I was like, nah, okay, I can't watch this.
Oh, let's not. I haven't even gotten to that point yet, but I hear it's not good.
Let's see. I'll give you a growler, but I don't think anyone has any questions off the bat because I see nothing typed in the chat. So I think we will just get straight to it. So let's ask the general question first. Why is it important to have good etiquette in a voiceover career? What would you say to that?
Do you want to go first, Maggie, or should I?
You can go first.
Oh, okay. Throw me to the wolves. I would say it's a good thing to have proper etiquette because, well, for one, you build your clientele that way, and the more clientele you build, the better your resume gets over time. The more work you build, the better things will go in the long run in terms of actually keeping your clientele. It helps to be very careful and formal with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Having good etiquette is very important because etiquette is very closely linked to your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have bad etiquette, that can give you a bad reputation. Like you said, it's very important for maintaining clientele. So, in terms of I think it may be good to start with the general terms of etiquette and what is good and what is bad. So, should we start with the good etiquette or the bad etiquette first?
Let's start bad.
Yeah. I was going to say that. So, in terms of, let's say we're approaching someone for a project, whether they be a games developer or a casting director. What would you say is bad forms of etiquette in general?
Oh, I think I definitely start with, "Oh, hello there, casting director that has no name. You have a name, but I didn't actually give it to you, so I'm sorry about that. That's your first mistake. You have to know their name."
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
have an example. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
no, go
yeah,
ahead,
go
go
for
ahead.
it.
I was just gonna say, I've in the past, I've had people come up to me as a director, or like, well, as a client talking to me as the director and being like, "I demand that you let me in your project."
Oh, no.
That, yeah, and you don't want to do that. If anything, a good thing to do is instead ask if they're looking for voice actors, or even like
Yeah.
before you do that, just like do your research if they have a
Yeah,
website or social
definitely.
media, because sometimes you can tell like before even asking them if that's what they're looking for.
I definitely say one of the most important things to note when you're trying to have good etiquette and when you're presenting yourself as a voice actor is to have respect for the people you are reaching out to. And that can
Yeah.
include a multitude of things, like respecting their time. You know, these are busy people, some of them extremely busy. Some of them respect their budget, because if you're a bit of an arse about how much you want to be paid, you may need to respect that some of these people are indie and have a lower budget. And
Yeah.
you know, try and not seem insulted if they offer you something that you're not expecting.
And can I add on to that?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
And I was just gonna say that, like, I agree, and I think some people, when they're looking for voice actors and they like offer a lower amount than like what is normally recommended or like what is normally given, most times they're not trying to be mean. Usually that's just like what they can afford at the moment, or
Yeah.
maybe they just don't, like, they're not well versed in the voiceover world and like what good rates are for voice
Yeah.
acting. So like
I
a lot
agree
of the
with that.
times, yeah, they're not trying to be mean. It's just they might not know better, or that might be all they have. And if that doesn't work for you, then that's okay. Like, don't make a big deal about it. Just like there's gonna be plenty of more opportunities.
Yeah, I'm like, you're more than happy to say no to.
Yeah, like if someone offers you, like Marcus said, $10 per 2,000 word script for their shitty top 10 YouTube channel, yeah, that's
Oh no.
nada.
No.
Yeah.
But what I liked that you mentioned is research. So I've never liked the idea of cold calling for a job just to get a credit and to get money. I've never liked that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to reach out to a project because I think it looks cool. And one part, and I find a good bit of etiquette and respecting the creator is by looking into their project. I think we'll cover more how to integrate this when we talk about like cold emailing and like, you know, cold calling and reaching out to folks. But I find researching into a project or into an animation or whatever they're making and mentioning that and saying what you like can really be quite great. Because I find here's how I message people. I'll say, hello, name. I see you're making this. I wonder if you need any voice actors. By the way, I liked this about your game. And I say what I like because I've looked into it. I go to, if they have a website, I'll go to their website. It's usually where I find the email half the time. Or I'll look on their Twitter on any screenshot Saturdays and stuff like that. And half the time I get no, because they either don't need any or they're not having any. But I always find that they always say, no, thank you, we don't need voice actors. But, you know, thank you for your lovely words.
Yeah, I
A
agree.
lot of the times, sorry, you go. No, you can go.
Okay. I was gonna say, it's pretty helpful too to actually research what you're doing, and you know, don't just throw yourself into it for money, because that makes it a lot more complicated, especially if you, for instance, want an unpaid project. If you're just not researching properly,
Yeah.
it can have a very damaging back burner.
Yeah.
I actually posted about that on Twitter a while back, about people auditioning for projects that have no interest in the project at all.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
people
yeah, I
that
remember
just
that.
yeah, like people that audition for projects just because they're trying to make money. And like I understand that like we're all trying to make money here in a way, but like voice acting in a way, it's not supposed to feel like work. It's supposed to be fun, like for both sides.
Indeed. I think the foundation of good video etiquette just comes initially is formed by just respect for your client. So respect for their time, respect for their budget, and respect for their project. And initially, that all starts from reaching out to them. That So I think we could now go into talking about reaching out to clients and proposing yourself and how to do that well, because that's the first impression. First impressions are majorly important.
Yeah.
And they tell a lot about how you are as well as how they are as a person. You find out a lot about your directors immediately from there.
Because so let's run over for folks who don't know. So cold calling. If you ever delivered newspapers, you may have seen stickers on people's doors saying like "No cold calling." Cold calling is basically when you will go to a person. Let's talk about it in a VO sense. You will email, message, DM someone, offering your voice acting service to them. Very, very often without them asking you to. And it is a way that a lot of voice actors self-promote themselves. I do it loads. A lot of voice actors do it. It's self-marketing. It's really, really important for a voice acting career to self-market yourself, because once you get a demo reel, you can't just let it sit there and poke it with a stick going, "Oh, go on, do something." You've got to self-market yourself. And that's where cold calling comes in a lot. And cold calling, like I said, is when you go to someone and offer your service to them. So that is the first impression. That's really important. So I think it's important to discuss how we present ourselves well and how we do cold calling right.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So I believe the first amazing point we should make about it is no copy paste.
Yeah. And if you do copy paste, at least read what you're writing and make sure it's a little different before you send it. Like, for example, if you have, like, say, I brought up agencies earlier. If you are submitting things to different agencies, change the name.
Oh, yeah, that would be so bad if you, like, sent the same thing with the same name to, like, every single...
That is, like, my biggest nightmare. Like, don't just send it. Just read it and then send it.
Because then, like, for me, if I was the director receiving these emails, I would just feel like the actor doesn't care about, like, my work or, like, my whatever I'm doing.
Or worse, it ends up in the dreaded spam folder. But, like, I think with cold emailing, and this links very closely to doing your research, which someone in server events chats wisely pointed out, it's really great to show a connection to who you're reaching out to and the production they're creating. So, for example, researching into the project is always great, and you can look at the game and see if you're interested initially, because, don't send in if you're not interested. But if you are interested, you can see what you like. You can learn about the game, for example. One example I have is Burnhouse Lane, a game coming out on Steam literally tomorrow that I'm in. That game is made by a guy named Ren Mikulski, Harvester Games. For any of you who were around in 2012, you may have heard of a game called The Cat Lady. It was a psychological horror puzzle game that was floating around. I'll see if I can get an image of it to jog folks' memories.
Wow, 2012, that's a while.
But it's 10 years ago. But I saw the Burnhouse Lane on Twitter. Oh, go away, Avast. But I saw Burnhouse Lane on Twitter and I thought, that looks really interesting. So I looked into the story. And for those Burnhouse Lane is about an elderly care worker who is dying of cancer. And she ends up getting she has to complete 5 tasks to win her life back. And I looked at this and I thought, wow, this looks really, really good. And I looked more into Mikulski and his games. It turns out he made The Cat Lady, a game I loved from 2012.
Oh.
So when I emailed him, I said, "Oh, Burnhouse Lane looks great. I love the story. I love your art style. And also, you made The Cat Lady. I remember watching that back in 2012. Like that game is amazing. And it's just that personal touch that can really make you look good in the eyes of a casting director or a developer. It's wonderful etiquette to really show a connection to the creator and their content, because it really shows that you care, and it's important that you care.
I think there's a subject I can think of too that's somewhat related to that.
Share.
Like the concept of cold calling versus getting recommended for something and then making a connection that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely something that happens to me a lot. A lot of what I book seems to come from recommendation, which I'm grateful for. I am very grateful for that because, it saves me the trouble of actually emailing.
Yeah. And part of that, oh, sorry.
Okay, go on.
Part of that is definitely being, like, I feel like social media helps a lot with that, like, with building connections.
Yeah.
And the more you participate in the VO community, and the more you the more you reach out and just like build those bridges and like build those connections, the more recommendations you could get.
Social media is also a really great place to start garnering a casual connection to folks.
Yeah.
Because, social media is a lot more casual. And it's a much easier place to know. Just get a nice relationship over things people post. Maybe they post a nice picture of their cat, and you can go, "Oh, that's a lovely cat."
That's a good you're buckling to the fray.
Like, you don't have to talk about voiceover, or like you don't have to talk about voice acting on social media. You can literally send cat pictures. You can talk about your day. You can talk about your favorite video game.
You
as
can
long
be a simp like me.
Like, I feel like social media for me has always been a balance kind of like being professional, because directors and people and like other clients, they are like, if they're on social media, they are going to see like what you post and like what kind of person you are based off of that.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, they also want to see the genuine you, like who you are.
It's not all business.
That's why I think about sometimes how like bigger voice actors than us that are like already in the industry, like massively, they're very casual and they are people.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing that when they're people.
It's like Kira Buckland. She's on Twitter and she's not all business. She's like, oh, look at my cat. And it's like, yes, the pattern of a cow.
Look at my cat. I love her talking about cats so much.
Kira's awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's a very great general points there of making a connection with the creator and their content, and also showing your real self outside of business on things like social media. But would you mind if we go back to cold calling for a second? So, like you said, you don't want it to read like a copy paste, because if it reads like a copy paste, I find people have a sixth sense that they will know. Like, people will say this is a copy paste. It doesn't really mean much what you're saying if you send it to 100 other people identically. So one great thing to do to make it more personal is, like we mentioned, have a connection, mention what you like about their project. Maybe like don't butter them up. When I say mention something you like, I don't mean stick a whole paragraph in there of a detailed essay. Literally, 2 to 3 lines will do, of like, oh, this was cool. Like, no need to butter them up. If you like it, wow, that's great. Thank you so much. Now, here is a good bit of etiquette I learned that I read. If you are going to... Now, when I cold email, I don't attach anything to the email. Like, I don't attach my demo reels. I don't attach anything, because it just kind of looks ugly in an inbox if you've got these massive attachments sitting to it. What I do is I link my website, and I link a Google Drive with all my demo reels in it. And I just say, if you are interested, click here, because you've got access to everything there, and it's not a horrible fat attachment. And if you do attach something to an email, if it's a demo reel, preferably don't make it a WAV file, because WAV files are big, and no one wants to install a big fat, WAV file when they could just have an MP3.
You're right. That's actually really smart, though, linking your website in Google Drive.
Yeah, because sometimes, because the internet, the player on my website will go down. So on my website, I have a button to take you to a Google Drive with my demo reels in it, and you can download them from there if you want. But we talked about respecting their processes earlier, casting directors and developers and such. So one thing I like to say is, at the end, I like to say, if you'd like to hear a custom audition, just let me know. And I find that helps to respect their process a bit, because you're not ramming something down their throat. It's like, oh, if you would like to hear something custom, just give me a shout because you may want to do something your way. So if you'd like to do something your way, just give me a message and I'll do what I can.
And research is extremely important because if you DM someone on, like, let's say Twitter, and like about wanting to work with them, but then you go like onto their page and you find out that they had maybe just finished releasing a game.
Yeah.
They're probably not gonna. They probably don't have anything that they're working on at the moment. But like, you never know.
Well,
unless you.
One major. I'll tell you a story of my bad research. The Back Rooms. I learned of a game called The Back Rooms. Now, I had never heard of The Back Rooms. As in, like, even just the whole thing of The Back Rooms. I'd never heard of it before. And the game I'd heard of, so I was like, I'll go on Twitter and search for the developer's Twitter page. And I found a different Backrooms game and messaged them talking about another person's game. And I was like, wow, this is great. And they were like, that's, that guy don't work for us. This is our game. That's just his. And I didn't realize the Backrooms was such a popular thing at the time.
Yeah,
and I was like,
concept.
I was like, fuck. I know, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, nah, man, it's all good. But I got off lightly then.
Yeah, there are some cases where it can be pretty extreme.
Yeah. But like, nothing to be afraid of. Like, you're gonna meet so many people in your career, and some people you're gonna love, some people you're not gonna love. It's all a huge experience, so you never know.
I also think it's better to actually email them instead of sending a DM on Twitter. I've never been comfortable with that concept, really.
Here's what I do. I will DM them on Twitter if I can't find an email. And I'll give you a fun tip. So most well-established game developers, animators, content creators, casting directors, they will often have their emails easy to find. It'll either be on their Twitter page, it may be in their banner, it may be on their website, or most likely be on their website.
Yeah.
But one place, if you can't find it and you've looked everywhere, if they have a YouTube channel, go onto their YouTube channel and go to their About section. You can put your email in its own special segment in a YouTube About section. You'll have to do a recapture thing to make sure you're not a machine, but their email could be there. And it's worked for me in the past. I've gone work by finding people's emails in their About section on YouTube when I couldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah. I think it also depends on, like, who your client is or, like, who you want to work for.
Yeah.
Because for the bigger companies, I think it's going to be a lot easier to find their emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never DM a massive company on Twitter. I'd drop them an email.
Yeah.
Hey, just DM Square Enix like, hey guys, hire me.
Hey guys. And
hey guys, I'm a huge fan. Hire me. I got a demo reel. Let's go.
I think emails also just have like a general air of more formality around them, like more professionalism around them, rather than a Twitter DM or heaven forbid, Discord DM.
Yeah, pretty much. It just feels better, and again, it makes me personally a little more comfortable with email instead of just DMing.
I'd say what's another good thing you can do as well when you are messaging someone. So you folks may know some folks have signatures on their emails, which will be at the bottom. Every email they'll send, it'll be at the bottom. I put all of my links to everything in my signature because it's out of the way. But if I've had clients say, "Oh no, it's fine. We followed the links from your signature. It's all good. We really like your stuff." So that's a good thing to know. You can find email signature makers online for free, and they work wonders.
That reminds me, I need to update that.
I need to. I'll get a.
You need to do that too.
I'll get a snippet of my signature, for example.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it's definitely a lot more convenient.
It is because Jason Lord, I think, put out a call for interest, like for British.
Last week.
And I messaged him saying like, "Oh hey, I saw your thing, blah 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 blah. If you want me to send links to attachments to verify my work, I happily can, or you can follow the links in my signature." Naturally, his inbox was a blitzkrieg being flooded at that time.
Yeah. He's a busy dude.
Actually,
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Part of me does
It's
not
fun.
want my phone number.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're-
true.
yeah. I thankfully like glimpsed and moved away quickly because I've done that before.
It's fine. I wouldn't mind you having my phone number, to be honest. I don't think you're going to do anything with it.
I'm just gonna text you every single day.
Do it.
But yeah, 080001066. Anyway, so I think the general good etiquette around cold calling is to go over this as a summary, to have a connection with the creator and their content, along with respecting their time, their budget, and their processes. Personalizing the email, at the very bloody least, know their lane.
Yeah.
Have it not read like a copy paste. If you ask me, it is like certain parts of my cold emails are copy pastes, but it's nothing personal. It's just a bit saying like, if you would like to hear a custom audition, that part of mine is a copy paste because I would just type the same thing out. Yeah, it's a template. It's an email template. So, for example, the parts of mine that are templated are, if you'd like to hear a custom audition, I'm emailing you regarding your project, insert name, and your potential need for voice actors. The bad things you can do when cold emailing, I definitely say being very forceful. What would you say in terms of time between emailing?
I think it
Would you-
depends.
I
Like-
usually think, yeah, 3 months is not a bad idea. Sometimes 6, depending on the company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Like, for
I know
example, I know a
some
lot of-
things have cooldowns as well.
Yeah, I know a lot of anime companies, for example. They usually want you to
Fucking
do it every
reminds
6
me.
months, or either once
I
and
need to-
none.
I need to email like sound cadence back again because my cooldown's done.
Oh yeah.
But like some people will be like, email us once. If you don't get anything back, give us another email with new stuff in 6 months.
Oh, can I say something?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. So if you reach out to someone and they say that they will get back to you, don't bother them.
That's true.
If they say they'll get back to you, then they will. And if they don't, then maybe they just don't need voice actors at the time. Or maybe your voice is not the one they're looking for at the moment. But that's okay.
I would say in terms of that line, though, say if it's like a year, maybe just kind of check in on them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
don't,
know-
like, repeatedly do it.
Yeah. Like, I know with a lot of agencies, some of them say to, like, if you haven't heard anything back in 6 months, then you can reach out again. But
Yeah.
again, I think it just depends on the company or the agency.
If there's someone who says, "Oh, we will get back to you this time," like if someone says to me, "Like we'll get back to you in the middle of December, we'll get back to you at the end of May," and if it goes past that time and I haven't heard anything, sometimes I'll message you saying, "Hey, is everything okay?" And half the time they'll just get back and go, "Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't heard. We've been really busy. We'll have the stuff to you by da."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to do follow-ups after, like, a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Again, it really depends on the company.
Like if I do a follow up, I'll just like do it once, and if I don't get a response, I'll wait a little bit and then do it again in like a month and say like, "Hey, do you exist anymore?"
Like, don't do it every week.
No,
Don't do
yeah.
it. Don't do it.
Don't make a
Don't even
nuisance
do it,
of
like-
yourself. Don't make a nuisance of yourself.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
thought about that recently because I actually reached out to a potential client after maybe 3 months of not hearing back, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I still have to make that character."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, "Don't worry, I'll keep you in the loop." And I'm like, "Okay, good."
Very good. Thank you so much. But yeah, impatience and making a pest of yourself, like by emailing bi-weekly or even like monthly. Even monthly's too much for some folks.
Yeah, that's why
it's
some
like-
companies just do like a one and done.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like updates are good. Like, if you have something new to say
Yeah.
each month, let's say, then like that's fine. But if it's the same thing like every month or like every
Yeah.
week, then that can get annoying.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And Let me think. What other like bad things could you do, like wise in terms of reaching out to folk?
I would say fangirling too much.
I would put that under like the umbrella of like buttering them up.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh my gosh, I love this, I love this, I love this, I love this. And it's like, do you actually?
Yeah, like I feel like that would come off as a little sus to some people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, what are you up to? Like,
Yeah, I think I'm a good example of that, to be honest. You guys know I am heavily fangirl.
It's like the spam emails you get. It's like, oh dear, my brother in Christ, you know, I need one of your kidneys, and I love you so much. It's like, no.
Which one though?
Get away from the left one. I don't know. and it's just like, no, I can tell something's not right here. But
yeah,
let's say, and here's the thing as well. Even if someone doesn't get back to you for a while, it sometimes can take a while. I reached out to this game called, I think that was called the White Raven,
I
and
remember that game.
And I messaged him like, it was a while ago now, saying like, oh hey, game looks great, and I did, you know, I spoke, I spoke to them, and they're like, great. They emailed me back 2 months later. So some people take time. And some people are like, oh, we'll message you after we've done a Kickstarter or something like that, and all that sort of jazz. But I think, do we have any other points regarding like cold emailing?
I can't think of any at the moment. Do you guys have any questions?
Apparently, you're gonna get your pop filter.
I saw that.
So let's say, right, you did the email, right? They came back to you and they said, oh yes, we like your stuff. Here's a character for you. So let's say you're on a project. Let's say you're working on a video game or an animation. Let's say you're in a Discord or an email group with everyone on the team, the other voice actors, the programmers, the artists, the animators, all that jazz.
Yep.
What do you do in this sense, etiquette-wise, to maintain a good relationship with the creator and the team as well? Because I find it's good to have a nice relationship with the team as well, like your fellow voice actors, folks behind the scenes as well.
Oh, I have a bit of an example of that.
Go.
And this is going to be mildly cringe, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
Let's go.
So I know there's a couple of projects I've been in where they have like bigger voice actors. Like, for example, Kara Buckland was in a project of mine that I've been in. And oh my gosh, I remember there was one person in a different chat completely that linked with one of those bigger voice actors, and they went ballistic in terms of fanboying. Yeah, and that's a line you definitely should not cross. If you are in a project, you are there to work, and you have to be formal about it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to get kicked off that project.
I think it's okay though to show appreciation for their work. Like, for example, if I was in a project with, you know, Kellen Goff, like, oh Lord, please.
Oh no, I think a little bit of fanboying or fangirling or fan.
I would definitely like shake his hand. I would definitely shake his hand and be like, "Hey, man, I love your work. It's brilliant." I wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, I wish to kiss the ground of which you walk."
Yeah, I'm like, I think it's a healthy thing to fanboy or fangirl or fan person. It's perfectly healthy, but don't go extreme about it.
Yeah.
Don't be creepy. Don't like stare at them like in the booth. Like don't like stare at I don't even know. Don't be creepy.
Don't kiss the ground they walk on.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a good point. Because, like, I mean, yeah, no fanboying and maintaining a formal attitude. What else would you say?
You can be respectful. Like, you can say things like, it's an honor to work with you, or like,
I think that goes hand in hand with having a connection to the creator and their content as well.
Yeah.
One thing I like to imagine is showing a constant interest in the project, because Now, like, if you get put onto a project, it can sometimes be months and months and months before you actually record for it.
True.
For example, Lumi and the Great Big Galaxy.
Yeah.
I've been on that project for... God, I've been on that for a year now. Whoa.
Dang.
And it's a long time, a year. And it really helps to show a constant interest in the project. For example, if there's anything regarding Void, the main villain of Lumi on Twitter, I'll always retweet it and promote it. So once again, it links to having a connection and a respect for the project. You know, it's always, you know, casting directors and creators love to have their stuff promoted. You know, it gets them more attention.
Yeah, I do that too with Defenders of Alodia because
Yeah.
I love that project. I love being on board with Rebecca, and I love the project, so why wouldn't I support it?
Yeah. I think streaming's not like I think streaming's a pretty good way to promote your client's content as well. For example, especially if it's a game.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really if it's a game. For example, I'll stream Burnhouse Lane tomorrow. On my Twitch.
I know I want to get back into streaming too because I put the idea out there that maybe I could start doing that again to promote games that I've been in or games that I'm interested in. Like, it can't hurt to promote indies.
Indeed, no.
I've never really streamed before, but like that's something I've wanted to do for a while now.
It's agony, but
It's agony.
But yeah, showing a constant interest in the project, I find it's really great for maintaining a good relationship with a client. Because when I was recording for Burnhouse Lane, it took like 3 months for Rem to get the script to me. And throughout that whole time, and I do this with any other project, I always keep an eye on the Twitter and like will retweet anything they post to share it around. But
yeah.
For example, like when I recorded for Father Rob, who I play in Burnhouse Lane, I could have easily recorded it all and just chucked in the audio file and go, cool, thanks for the money, never speak to you again.
I've done that with one client before.
But like, it's the great thing about maintaining a constant relationship with a client is it can open up new opportunities. Because I remember like, and then like clients can recommend you to other clients.
Yeah,
like,
that's a huge thing.
Or offer you roles in the future. Can I think of an example off my head? No, because I don't think it's happened. But,
I can think of one for me.
Go ahead.
So it's actually pretty recent, but when I announced that I was in Muscle Maddie as Danny Miller, there was a client.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was for Constancy Roa. They actually reached out to me the very next day, and she's like, "Hey, we heard your demo because we were mutuals with Muscle Maddie, and we were interested in your work." And I'm like, this is the first time I've ever gotten an announcement out there and then booked another role because of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was the weirdest feeling, but it was also so great. Like, I never had that happen before.
And this is why networking is and self-marketing is extremely important.
Oh yeah, massively.
Yeah, you never know where it'll lead.
Someone put a video out on Twitter. I don't know who it was, sadly, but they said people often think that agencies are this like magical wizard that will solve all your like voiceover problems. You'll never have to self-market again.
That was Emery Chase.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
And no, that's not the case. Even if you have an agent, you still need to self-market. And like I said, etiquette is such an important part of self-marketing because you need to make yourself come across good. And if you don't, then oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, side note. Funny enough, I just mentioned Constancy Roa, and then they tagged me in a post.
Hey.
What are the odds? Anyway, moving back to the point. I'm sorry. I just thought that was funny.
No, it's good.
But no, especially with that, like experiences of clients can also between clients and you can also pass on between projects. For example, I worked on a concept trailer for a project called Shadows Have Legs, in which I voiced this chap named Crumb, and the people on the project like sent me the casting call after, saying like for their next project, saying like, oh hey, we'd love you to try for this as well. And I didn't get it, but it was still amazing that they thought of me and sent me that.
And hey, like something that is super good about like I can't speak. Something that is good about retaining a good relationship with the clients you work with is that even if you don't get the part, or like even just auditioning for projects and remaining or like keeping that etiquette is extremely important, because even if you don't get the part, they could still really like your audition or really like your voice, and then keep you in mind for like another character in the
massively. Yeah. I'm trying to think. When you send the like let's say you send an email for an audition and you've got the audition attached to it, is there any good tips for sending in that kind of email, like just a simple sending an audition email? Is there anything you feel that you should include that to make it a bit more pleasant to read? I always like to say thank you in my audition emails.
Yeah, equipment is a good one if they requested.
Yeah, you definitely want to be like super gracious, because that's gonna be seen as a super good thing. And like people, I think personally what I do when sending audition emails and stuff is I like to personalize it a little bit and kind of make it kind of like introduce myself in a way, like not like write a whole long paragraph. I'm like, this is my whole voiceover journey, or like this is my whole life. Something small like this is my name, this is what I am, and this is what I do. This is why this is like I'm interested in your project because blank, or something like that. It differs.
But I'll tell you another interesting story about good client experience. So Vinny Cortez, who is a Brazilian game developer, he created. If you guys were here for my creature thing, you'd remember me mentioning EXP War Trauma and the Backrooms Lost tape. Now I worked with Vinny on the Backrooms Lost tape as the voice of the Dullers and some other entities, and I was constantly chatting with him throughout doing it, and I discussed the project with him. I discussed the creatures, what he'd like, and I really kept his view in mind, because one thing you've got to respect is this is their project, this is their baby in a way, and they have a vision for it. So it's important that you respect that. And I always asked Vinny, what are you thinking? What do you think of this? Would you mind if I tried this? And he was always like, yeah, man, go ahead. And I did the Dullers for EXP War Trauma. And he was like, wow, this is great. Do you mind doing a bit more? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I did one more for him. And then he was like, would you maybe want to work on the other game I'm making, EXP War Trauma? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, cool, I'll send you a script in like a month or two.
You just reminded me I had to check in with Vinny.
And that's how I ended up in EXP War Trauma as well.
The power.
So it's really it is really important to get a connection with your clients and such.
Yeah. And I think, like you said about like not being sent, like sometimes you can get cast in a project and then not receive any materials for like months.
Yeah, like
patience. It's really patience.
Like massively. There's people I need to reach out to soon. Actually, I need to reach out back to this person because I reached. Oh, what the bloody hell was it called? This is why I need to write that down because I always forget it. But this person was making this really cool, like hand drawn animated game, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I said, what?
I said, tell me more.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the thing I've completely forgotten because I have an awful memory.
Oh, man. I feel that, though.
Same.
And I said to them, this game looks great. Would you ever need voice actors? And he was like, I don't know. Try me at the end of the year.
And
And I was like, okay, okay. And it's the end of the year, so I need to message them again.
valid.
Something. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was done.
Okay.
I'm always done, but yeah.
Something that has helped me in the past is actually, I'll be like, I'm the person that likes to kind of scroll through YouTube every once in a while. So, and I follow a lot of animators. And so every once in a while, I'll see a video of like an animatic or an animation that has no voiceover in it, but it looks like it could. So what I'll do is I'll reach out to that person like through email or whatever way is possible. And being respectful and professional, I'll be like, I love your video, I love your art. Are you by any chance looking for voice actors or like a voice for this character? And then they'll usually get back to me and let me know.
Yeah. One point I want to make is that it's important to have a good relationship and good etiquette with like your clients, right, directly. But I think overall, in a community sense, it's also great to have a good relationship with the entire community and the people around you. And I'll tell you an interesting story. There's these people called what are they called? There were these people who I reached out to because they had done some music. I think they're the people who did the music for Gods of the Twilight, one of the games I'm in.
Oh, I remember that game. I know too many games I see. Jeez.
And I said to them, "Oh, hey, you did the music for Gods of the Twilight, didn't you?" And they were like, "Yeah, we did." And I was like, "Great, music's great for that game." And he's like, "Oh, thanks, man." And we chatted for a moment, and then a while back they came back to me and said, "Hey, we have a client looking for a voice actor. Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Yes." And they showed it to me, and it's like it's for this game called Catch Me. And they sent me the thing, and they were like, "Just send us in an audition, and we'll see what the client says." And I asked them, and I sent it in, and they go back to me, and they're like, "Yeah, the client loved you, man. You got the job."
Hey.
So yeah,
that happens.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Let me see if I can get an image of it.
You're just on point with these images too.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen this around. Wow. Again, I've seen too many games, it seems.
Yeah, I always keep my eyes peeled.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
I was gonna mention just having like overall a good like public image also falls under having a good VO etiquette because it's Twitter. Anyone can see it. Anyone can see the horrible things you post.
And even when you're not horrible, if you say anything, it will be used against you. I know that feeling, sadly.
Oh, it's like one thing I noticed. One thing one of my old VO teachers taught me is people who are constantly negative on their social media really can harm their careers sometimes. Because it's such because if you're constantly saying like, "Oh, I'm making so many mistakes. Oh, it's a misery," you know, like the whole "oh, woe is me" stuff, like weekly. Like I would look at that and I think I don't really want to work with that person because they just sound as miserable as sin. Because
I'll admit there is a bit of a way around that.
A second account.
Yeah, I admit I'm not always positive, but I see myself as a bit of an optimist, and I'm also pretty realistic about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But come on now, we're not without depression.
Yeah, like it's okay to have bad days because like we're human. Everybody goes through hard times. I think being negative like overwhelmingly all the time, like every single day, that can be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's okay.
Down on others.
Yeah.
Because one of my old VO teachers said, like, if you go on social media for a VO career, it's not a place to post about. Like, beware, this chap was like going into his 50s, just for context, and he was like, He was like, social media is not a place for you, you know, Jen, whatever's to post about non-stop about how like sad you are and all that. Like for a VO career, that's not what you want to do.
Nope.
It's somewhere to promote yourself, but also show a bit about yourself personality-wise. It's not somewhere for you to vent all of your seething hatred and, you know, self-loathing.
That just sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, actually, can I say something?
I get exhausted reading it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, shoot, I just had a brain fart.
It's okay. It's Thursday. We're all at that point.
I think I was gonna say something about like private accounts. Like, I know a lot of voice actors, it depends on the person, but like some people will have a professional voice acting account, and then some people will have like a personal account. Some people will have both, and then some people will have like a mix of both. Where it's like professional and personal.
I'm that one.
Yeah, me too.
Like I'm always face forward. That's just how I've always been.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with those, like any of those exactly. I think it just depends on like what you post about personally.
Yeah, I think there's a line between being all business and all play. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh, why do I like that statement? My melancholy has overwhelmed my leaking aether, so I cannot tarry to the veil.
Eh?
I love it so much. I'm sorry.
What's it from?
I don't.
Sorry.
It's just made up, but I really like it. But
You
that's
sound
also
like
my
having
love
an
of
existential
fantasy.
crisis.
It's from what?
I said it sounds like you're having an existential crisis.
Yeah, I'm like, I just think of fantasy stories, and that's kind of my whole thing. So
yeah, it's got that like flow to it. I don't know. Anywho,
do you have any other points about maintaining good relationship throughout a project?
I think it's very possible to actually become friends with your clients too.
Oh yeah, like I'd say I'm friends with Rem Bukowski, the chap who's making Burnhouse Lane.
Oh, I know I definitely have a good relationship with the creator of Bus Arrow Studios, to the point where there's literally comics now. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think it's good to become friends with some of your clients. Don't force a relationship, but it's good to just become friends with your clients down the line.
Just be genuine, right?
Yeah, just be genuine.
Genuine for the win.
Genuine for your buck.
Wonderful. What we're trying to hear in there? No hyperlinear, no hyperventilating, asking for jobs.
Just pull out the SpongeBob. I shouldn't be foaming at the mouth. No, again, you should be doing the SpongeBob. Hang on. Where is it? SpongeBob.
Bear with me one moment while I just look at something quickly.
Panic. Yeah, there it is. Perfect.
I mean, what other areas of aspects of Etiquette are there? One thing I may want to ask quickly is, does anyone have any questions in the audience at the moment about what we've discussed? Because some folks may have some questions we can answer.
Oh yeah, that would be
so.
easy.
If you have a question, you ask it now.
Or never.
Speak now, forever hold that.
Type it now while I check the World Cup scores.
You sound like such a dad just going off and looking at sports.
Japan beat Spain and Germany beat Costa Rica. Very nice. Are they out again? Are they out of the group stages again? That's actually hilarious.
Britain?
Yeah, people from Britain are called Britons.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so American. My gosh.
But does anybody have any questions regarding what we discussed so far? Would you recommend us to use an alias for your career? aliases are interesting.
That depends.
Like,
Yeah.
some people have very personal reasons for aliases. Some people just prefer a stage name. It like,
All right, how did you choose your name?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
If you were to choose an alias, if you're not using your actual name.
A lot of people think my name is a stage name, and I'll say to them
I
it's not.
I was gonna say, I thought your name was actually your name, so.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, my name's my name. But people are like, "Well, people are like, well, your name's actually Ellis Knight," and I was like, "Yes, it is." You know,
That's dope.
my dad's
So-
Simon, and his dad's Tom. You know.
I mean, think about in particular, like AJ Beckles. He uses a stage name because his first name he thinks he can't market it as well because it's it's harder to market certain names. Like, actually, I can go on with myself since my name. My name is Shakyra. A lot of people think either the singer or they just know I'm black because of it. Which I mean,
she's going to prison soon, I think.
Yeah, she is, and I'm like, oh, so I'm the good Shakyra. Cool.
Good ending. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, before I was ever doing voice work, I was actually an author, and I still am an author, but I don't publish as frequently. And I figured it would just be better to keep my actual name. So, how many people do you really know with the name Shakyra?
Wait, so you guys aren't using aliases?
No.
No, I'm using my actual name.
What?
I'm
using an alias.
I think marketing. I think in terms of Tazdev, your question, would I recommend using an alias if your name is not that marketable? Like, if you have maybe like a super complex name which you could perhaps abbreviate into something more marketable. Like, a lot of people say if your name was like oh gosh, I don't know, Philip Montgomery, like Seymour or something, you could abbreviate that down to PM Seymour. That's a bit more marketable. I use PM Seymour as an example without knowing what PM actually stands for.
Oh yeah, because I think they chose that name because there's a lot of Patricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is actually. Like, I know Belshazzar Usape, I know he abbreviates it down to Bell a lot.
Bell.
And yeah.
Yeah, I felt like my first name was pretty like common, so I wanted to do something a little bit unique.
But
And
in terms of your question, Tazdev, I'd recommend using an alias if it allows you to make your name more marketable, or if you have a more personal reason for having an alias. Like, I know someone who has a much more personal family reason for using an alias. Because they are a junior, meaning they have their parents' name.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, like I think it all just depends on like your situation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's mandatory to have an alias, but like if you want one, if you like, and like Ellis said, like if you think your name's not marketable enough, then I think it's good to like make a few changes.
A good question there is, how does one determine a marketable versus an unmarketable name? So let's go through some examples of what marketable names there are. So let's take my name, for example, Ellis Knight. So naturally, Knight can naturally be associated with, armor, the sword, and my brand is a knight's helm. So that's quite a marketable one because it gives me a good gimmick. In terms of an unmarketable name, it is something that may be quite simple, like John Smith or John Doe, but you may be dead in that case.
Oh, jeez.
Something like that. So let me think of some other, like, okay, Ava Hauser. My friend Ava, I love them so much. They have the name Ava Hauser. But one thing they commonly go by is just a voice actor, which I didn't realize how clever it was, because I think just the word just, A, first letter of Ava,
Oh,
V,
Java.
voice.
Wow.
Yeah. Just the voice actor. Just Ava. A fucking genius.
I love that. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
So that's a good one. But having like quote a normal name, I've never really been able to stick with a term of having a normal name because everyone's got a name. It's their name. It's your name. Don't be ashamed of having a name.
Yeah, and I think it really again depends on your name because again, think my name's Shakyra Dunn. Like, how many people do you know with the first name Shakyra? Besides the singer.
But is using your normal name less marketable?
At least 2.
I would say no. But if your name is like something super fancy, like William Skrillium.
William Fancy Son.
I don't know, something like super long and like hard to pronounce, then I would say probably make a few adjustments.
Also, your marketing is not solely based on your name. You can have an image as well, which can help with your marketing. It doesn't have to be solely based on your name.
Oh yeah, because you with the knight and me with my sweet buns.
Right. Yeah.
Which, funny enough, I actually wear those buns in real life. So.
Very nice.
I mean, I don't really have an image exactly, but like I use a lot of cherry blossoms for like
part of your image.
Yeah.
And sometimes as well, an alias. Sometimes it's not all about marketing. It can sometimes just be about how you wish to present yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions? Let me have a rummage.
That last name. It sounds Gaelic, like Gaelic.
I thought you were just going to say gay then for a second.
Gaelic.
Last name.
It sounds Gaelic.
Gay. So, like, hypothetically asking for a friend Carf if one's last name is often misread, misspelled, would that be sort of? It's completely up to you. I know people who like I think Joey Salas has his last name misspelled a few times.
Yeah. My first name gets misspelled a lot.
It's really up to you, personal preference.
People call me Maggie instead of Meggie.
I don't
make a super big deal out of it. Like they realize it on their own. But it's what it is.
Does anyone else in chat have any questions regarding the things we've been discussing so far? So we've looked over aliases and having a stage name and how that relates to your marketing.
Oh, I thought of another concept with the alias thing. There are a lot of people that use it for not safe for work content because some people like
yes. Yeah.
That would be a good thing to have.
Sometimes
I personally do not safe for work content, but I don't actually do the content itself. I'm just within the project. So I can kind of get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not safe for work projects. Like whenever I get a not safe for work audition, like I have these two people in my head going, "Go on, Ellis." And it's like, "No, don't do it." And he's like, well, "Go on, no, don't do it." It's like, "No, I probably shouldn't."
I mean, apparently not safe for work content pays a lot because there's that concept with sex sells, but
yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, it just depends on your preference. Yes, but if you do NSFW, then it would definitely be a good idea to have an alias, I think.
Yeah. I know it isn't all sound effects, hence why I can do it, but I won't do the effects. That's why it's a line with me, because I don't like that concept. I do not.
But does anyone else in chat have any questions regarding what we've been discussing? Anything regarding cold emailing, maintaining good relationships?
Probably a good show.
I see a few people typing.
Oh, wow. Lots of typing.
If you make a mistake in email audition, what's the best way to salvage that? Okay.
I think it depends.
Let me give you a quick tip about Gmail. Depending on what you have in the settings, the maximum you can have is 40 seconds, I think. If you send an email in Gmail at max, depending on if you set it to this, you have 40 seconds to unsend it. After that 40 seconds, you can't unsend it. So one solution is just to unsend the email if you can catch it in time.
However, if you're using like Yahoo,
I know nothing about any other email things.
See, I use Yahoo because I can't get into using Gmail for it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just can't. But in my case, you have a while before it actually sends to drafts and then sends, so you can kind of stop it between then if you hit the drafts fast enough. Another concept is you can just simply say, hey, I messed up and this is how it went, and you could resend it. Sometimes you get lucky with that.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna completely blacklist you or like...
No.
Yeah, like, it's human error.
Well, like, I think it'd definitely be massively unimpressive if you sent them, like, a copy-paste of an email you've sent to someone else with their name and everything. Like, oh, hello, person you're not. I love this game you didn't make, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I say to read before you send anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Definitely, like... And like, if you do, it's just best to apologize and just say, "Yeah, really sorry. You know, I just made a mistake." And this is like if it's a standard email or an audition. Like, if you've made a mistake in an audition, like maybe if you've got an incorrect take in there, it can help just to send an email saying, "Oh, sorry, realize I've made a mistake. Here is another audition with the mistake removed. Sorry about that."
I know there's also instances where you can get lucky with that because I remember back in 2020 when I got my very first audition for Noah from Since When Did I Have a Combat Butler? Believe it or not, I sent an audition that had nothing in it. Like, there was no audio whatsoever. And Kokoro was very nice enough to tell me beforehand. And I was like, wait, what? That's not possible. Then I listened back and I'm like, oh my god, it is blank. And luckily, I still had the actual audio open and saved, so I just resent it, and then I ended up booking that role. So
yeah,
sometimes people are just really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also always check the links that you send because you never know, like if you labeled it wrong or maybe something got deleted, or just always check them because it's better to be safe than sorry.
Most definitely.
Any other questions?
Talk like that again. Like, not even the accent, just the way you said that in particular was just so calming.
Yeah,
I have that
Ellis, you should do like ASMR.
Don't no.
Oh, no.
So I did a collab with Nick's Moon Reads. I did some ASMR like thing on his channel, and like everyone was like, "Wow, you're great," and I was like, "Thank you." And everyone was like, "You want to do it on your own?" I'm like, "Nah, I can't. I'm afraid. Like, I just can't take myself seriously doing something like that."
Same. That's why I can't do it.
It's not what I'm about. I'm afraid. Like, I listen to ASMR and go, "What the hell is this?"
Okay, some of them are really weird, but like there are some good ones out there.
Yeah, there are some faithful ones.
Mukbang ASMR scares the life out of me. But we're getting off topic. But do we have anything else we want to cover?
Typing. Oh man, now I want to watch Back to the Future.
Do it.
I haven't watched it in a hot minute. I think I'm due.
It's a good one.
It is.
Yeah, I think we might be done.
I believe we are finished. If no one has any other questions.
Wow, that actually went well.
Yeah.
Unless people does have questions. Oh, yep, we have a question.
Okay.
Hey guys, when sending an audition, do you tend to include a small cover letter about yourself in your email, even if they haven't asked for one, or do you just attach your file and keep it super short? If you do, what is good to include in your letter? So I keep it super short. So should I cover that first?
Go for it.
Yeah.
pardon me. When I'm sending in a audition, I'll say hi and I'll say their name, and literally all I say is, "Hi, thank you very much for the opportunity. I really enjoyed this character. I liked, and I may say what I like about the character." And then I'll literally just say, "Thank you, Ellis." Send. And like I said, the link to my website, if they want to know more, is in my signature. So that's what I do when I keep it short. I say thank you. I say I enjoyed it. I say why I enjoyed it. I say thank you again, and then I sign off. Literally as simple as that. Like, I don't like to. I know I've done casting for a project, so I know just how much wave of stuff you get coming in, and like half the time you don't really like necessarily want to read a massive fat paragraph. You just want to kind of go, yeah, right, cool, whatever. Yep, give me the audition. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I've done casting. It's stressful. Like, I've done casting on holiday. It was stressful.
You want to make it... Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I was going to say, I've kind of been on both sides of that because I'm more of the writer side as well as the voice work. And I've also done casting a bit, but I hate casting because I'm a terrible director.
Casting can be tough. But yeah, I was just going to say that you definitely want to keep it super simple and short and easy for the directors.
Yeah.
And just make sure that everything is accessible and easy to access. Because most of the time directors do, like, they want to get through everything quickly.
Yeah. And also in general, a paragraph is genuinely unappealing to the eye, and the people just think, oh, I've got to read all this.
Yeah, that's true. I personally can't do long form unless I am asked. I can write stories just fine, but I don't think I can long form telling someone about what I'm doing. Like and subscribe to my voice.
Yes. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Oh.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick,
mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Wow, that actually sounded really good.
Yeah, those were good.
This is going to sound weird. Like, Mark, do you want me to still growl for you?
This took a turn, interestingly. Do it.
Alright. Like, if you guys are wondering, I did a creature panel a couple weeks, like, not a couple weeks ago, like a week ago, and people liked the growl I did, so I'll do it again.
Oh gosh,
that's cool.
I could.
But I think we'll end on that.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
The end.
Just kidding.
That was beautiful.
All right, then. I think we're done then. I think we should thank the wonderful folks here for coming and sitting with us and listening to what we have to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And with that, I think we'll wrap it up.
Everyone just thanking, and it's so nice.
Thanks, guys. You guys are cool beans.
Oh, Patrick's. I'm getting hungry now thanks to that. Beans.
Beans.
Don't like beans. Don't like that.
I like chili beans. Oh, and jelly beans.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't had good jelly beans in a while.
Gotta try British jelly beans.
Yeah.
slowly turning into a Food Network show.
Different. Wait.
Funny enough, actually, Scorp, I work in a supermarket and we have a coffee machine. It's my job to keep filling it up, and I'll rip open the packets of coffee beans and go like, "Oh damn, I want to eat them."
See, I'm a bad voice actor. I hate coffee.
I'm not the biggest fan.
I'll only drink coffee if I'm in if it's like an emergency.
Oh.
Like when I did Richard Horvitz class, I'd stay up till like 1, and I had to get coffee, and I drank it, and I felt like Mr. Hyde. I just suddenly came alive all of a sudden. I was like such power.
Mm-hmm.
See, I
Coffee will
can't
do that to you.
I can't do it. It just makes me anxious. That's why I don't drink it.
I just don't really like the taste that much, and it's super addicting.
You're right. But what isn't addicting these days?
I mean, I eat a lot of chocolate, so.
Same. I have to survive on energy drinks when I'm at work because I can't drink coffee.
I don't drink
or
any.
tea. Yes, tea is great.
I don't drink any drinks because I just know they're bad for you.
They are, but that's the only way I can function at work because work gives me annoyance.
Right, okay. Well, like when I'm at work, I just drink water, like on the occasion, and then I'll like have my lunch at work, and I'll have like a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Water
is good. Water is actually super underrated.
I went to work today. Like my mom dropped me off because my car's in the garage, and like I walked down the street. There's like this 2 smashed up cars on the side of the road, and I'm like, oh, right.
Oh boy,
it's a bit odd. And I walked past it, and I go into the shop, and I'm like, have you seen that? And the guy I worked with was like, oh yeah, those cars have been there since like 1 a.m. And one of them's like on the sidewalk, like just completely on the sidewalk. And I'm like, is anyone coming to get rid of it? And they're like, oh, we don't know.
Huh.
Oh no.
See if I can get a picture of it.
Oh yes, tea is actually very good for your voice because it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
Tea is swag.
Especially with a little bit of honey.
Little bit of honey. Occasionally, if you want to take like milk, it's good, but don't oversaturate it.
Milk?
Like reminds me. So I see the GIF of Garfield, and I just think of that God meal.
Oh, no.
But no, I think seeing that we're now done with the event, I think I'm going to depart now.
Yeah,
that's fair. I should probably go eat.
Yeah, I need to record some stuff. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for coming. Loved having you here. I enjoyed being here because I think this is the first time I've actually spoken with you two.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
It was.
So yeah, I will see you folks whenever.
Catch
Thanks,
you later.
you guys.